modules themselves. We said that's great. We'd like to actually fundamentally understand how inflatables work in orbit. We never human qualified them or qualified them to put humans inside of them. And even their Genesis modules weren't fully instrumented in order to really understand all the effects that are occurring. So we entered into a contract with them, it was actually cost sharing kind of arrangement with them where we're going to fly a module up to the space station. It's about 16 cubic meters in volume, which is fairly large. And it's going to be fully outfitted with radiation sensors, thermal sensors, and everything else. There is no active environmental life support system in it, so it's completely passive, and it actually still holds temperature, even in space, because the wall thickness is 18 to 24 inches thick after it's fully inflated and all the kind of offsets and everything else. So it passively holds temperature at a comfortable San Francisco temperature, basically. It's like today, about 66 degrees or so is the lowest it'll get on its own. And it'll be in the high 70s at the peak sun range that we have. Orient yourself. This is the cupola, big picture window. This is node 3. That's node 3 aft. That's what that'll be in. So it'll be really kind of neat to see that. Brought a video. This has been out there for a little bit, but it will come up on a SpaceX Dragon. People ask, well, how did you decide how big to make it? It was the biggest size that would still fit in the trunk of the Dragon. That was the design requirement. So we have 6 inches of clearance, I think, is our tightest clearance on the one side. So a robotic arm will take it out of the trunk. It'll bring it up and berth it onto the port. Trying to convince the station folks to leave the windows open. That would be a really cool video of that moving around. They probably won't agree to that. But and then actually before the inflation actually occurs, as soon as it's docked onto the station, the crew goes in and actually does a little bit of outfitting, plugging in ports, and closes a hatch. We actually have a reverse pressure hatch, which normally you want to keep pressure from coming in. We actually want the Bigelow module not to push pressure into the station, so it's kind of in reverse. So they put all that in place, and it actually inflates on orbit up to this station pressure we have. And then we'll get tons of data on how it performs with radiation and thermal performance. One of the big speculations out there is metallic structures, when they have radiation energy hit them, they basically have a secondary event, and that one high energy particle splits into multiple lower energy particles. And the biggest problem with radiation is actually particle to cell interactions. So if you have a single particle going through you, minimize the number of cells. You have more particles going through you, have more cell interactions. So the theory is, with a soft-sided structure, you don't create the secondary events. We don't know. We've actually never flown a soft-sided structure like this in space. And then the thermal control as well. And then for this, there's tons of benefit for us using these modules for exploration. Benefits for Bigelow as they endeavor to build a commercial space station out of these type modules as well. Vehicle systems, we've been testing advanced guidance, navigation, and control for landers on our Morpheus and Allhat test bed. We just finished up flying earlier, late last year. Looking at modular power systems, we've been not so much building batteries and all that kind of stuff ourselves, but actually packaging batteries and fuel cells and that kind of work as well. Talked about catalysts, helping accelerate some of our commercial companies, and we do other things like fiber optic sensing systems. Back in the NERVA days in the 60s, they had nuclear rockets they were building. They had the really bad idea that nuclear rockets were going to take off from the ground and fly all the way up. That's probably not the brightest idea now that we understand the reasons for that. But for in-space propulsion, after you've already left Earth, nuclear thermal propulsion is still a very efficient propulsion mechanism. now trying to recover the ability to actually make the fuel elements that they built in the 60s in order for us to potentially use them on future in-space station as well. So Morpheus, we very spectacularly 2 years ago, August 2013, had our first test vehicle. We took it down to Kennedy. We were really confident. We had done a bunch of tether tests. We were on our second flight coming off the pad at Kennedy, went up about 3 meters, and then careened over and slammed into the ground and exploded on live television into a big fireball. I was watching it live. This is my first day back from vacation. And it was, it hit the ground, you hear the initial explosion, and everybody's, ooh, I'm like, wait for it, because the tanks hadn't ruptured at that point. And I go, that's probably about a minute and a half, everything basically hit peak pressure from the flames, and we blew all the tanks at once, and caused a nice big fireball. My only negative about it is it was live on CNN and everything else that evening, but they used the low-def video. We actually had 3D HD. I don't know why, but it was like this horrible video. But in seriousness, though, it was interesting that NASA has this failure is not an option kind of culture, and how the agency and NASA reacted and the public at large reacted to a pretty visible failure. It didn't hurt that in the same week time frame we landed on Mars with Curiosity, doing something that nobody thought would actually work with the sky crane and everything. And then we got our next generation lander within 7 days of that success. And it kind of showed the challenges and successes of the space program all in 1 week. Within 4 hours after the test failure, we committed to rebuilding the vehicle and got back to flying. There's a good lesson here. After 4 flights of the new vehicle, we were already exceeding the performance of the previous vehicle after it had been flying 30 times. So if you look at technology S-curves and how you come up on the reliability of your systems and everything else, failure is really, really good to get you to start over. And it was a good learning experience. It culminated actually with a night flight, which was really, really great to see folks there do that. I got a short video here as well, and I'll narrate a little bit for you. Morpheus, to give you an idea of how big it is, it's about 12 foot by 12 foot by 12 foot high, so at about 5,000-ish pounds. The engine on there is a liquid oxygen methane engine. It doesn't fly that fast, that's spin it up. But in this flight, it's going up 800 meters. That's the shuttle landing facility. That's the vehicle assembly building. It's actually higher than the vehicle assembly building when it's flying right now. That's our advanced optics systems for a laser Doppler ranging system. So it's actually doing an active scan of this hazard field down here. That's a simulated portion of the moon. And what's interesting is, what people don't realize is, when it went up, it was given a command to find where it should land on its own. And so it's scanning the hazard field in real time. It's calculating and finding its position of where it should fly. And then it's calculating all the navigation algorithms and everything else in a closed-loop design, all in less than 6 seconds on a 92-core processor, all on board, while flying at nearly 98 miles an hour downrange to land as well. So it was a great success in that it's the most accurate landing system we've ever built that could be directly applied to space-type projects. When we land on Mars today, we're lucky to have 20-kilometer landing ellipses accuracy. We need to be able to get that down to 100 feet. And that's what we've been driving to do with those kind of systems. We learned a lot about landers and such, and we figured that's what better thing to do than share it with the commercial industry. So we ran a thing called Lunar